So here we are, guys, the 2022 South Australian Rally Awards. We're not going to mess around for too much, we're going to get straight into it. Obviously we had an up and down year again. Obviously COVID played a part going back over the last 2 years, but this year we just had the weather to deal with mostly, right? Whether the event didn't run or if it didn't run, the weather was right in there. Still, we had some pretty spectacular performances towards the end at the Adelaide Hills Rally. I was doing social media that day, or over the weekend, and watching some of you guys swapping times 1/10 of a second off each other at times is just pretty amazing. We've got some real talent in our state. It's awesome. So, let's begin with the South Australian Autocross Series. Award winners in Class B, first in Class B, or Daniel Oldacre. First in Class C, Curtis Boyd. Class E, first place, Chris Simmons. Class L, first place, Teresa Lipscomb. And Class J, first place, Daniel Hazelgrove. Those guys aren't with us today, but we're going to send all their trophies down there.
We'll work something.
We're going to do a deal with a major national courier. Fantastic. Congratulations to our Autocross Series first place winners there. First in Class D, I'm not sure how to pronounce this name, to be honest. Glenn Campbell. Where are you, Glenn? Glenn, you can help me out here, okay? So, one of the things we want to try and do, guys, we want to make sure that we capture a photo, an image of you today. So you're my supermodel today, Glenn, all right? When you step up to come and get your award, guys, you'll notice there's a couple of orange crosses on the ground. Now, I can see you all trying to see them from where you're at, you won't be able to see them. But when you walk up to get your award, Ed's going to present the award, he's pointing at the spot. If you can just basically get your award for me, and then look straight at our camera down here. That's it, we're going to go for 2 shots each time, guys, just for safety. And if you can do that. So that was Ed and Glenn demonstrating how we're going to do this. We'll actually do the real thing now, okay? So congratulations, Glenn. Fantastic. Thanks, Glenn, congratulations. First place, Class W. I think this is a gentleman we're going to see quite a bit of this afternoon, amongst other people. Our Class W winner for the Autocross Series, Michael Clements. Michael in his first few years of competition, obviously. And then we get to third outright. This year, third outright in the Autocross Series was Wayne Mason. Unfortunately, Wayne's not here with us today.
Anybody accepting on his behalf?
Okay, there you go. Congratulations, Wayne, in your absence. Second outright, somebody we've already seen today, Michael Clements. Congratulations. Oh, beg pardon, Bradley. Bradley, sorry guys. Okay, so that's 3 things, isn't it now? So everything else goes smoothly from here on in. Beautiful. So second place is Bradley Clements. So Michael, could you make your way to the front, please? Maybe you could accept the award on Bradley's behalf. And while you're here, we might have something else for you too. So please pass on our congratulations to Bradley. And whilst you're there, first place in the SA Motocross Series this year for 2022, first outright, Michael Clements. Awesome way to get involved with motorsport. If you've not Been in a race car before, or a rally car? Certainly Arcana and Autocross series, definitely the way to go. Which brings us to the 2022 South Australian Autocross Championship. First in Class D, Nick Cagney. First in Class E, Chris Simmons. And first in Class W, Dale Cagney. Congratulations, guys. We'll be sending you a trophy over. First outright in the Autocross Championship is Matt Muir. And that's not here. Okay, congratulations to Matt. Beautiful. So we move on to SACS, or as we know it, the South Australian Clubman Series. Our first outright driver in the series for 2022 is Glenn Campbell. Do you need some help carrying that one home, Glenn? Congratulations. Amazing. A series that's actually been growing in popularity. Again, a really good sort of entry-level way of getting involved in rallying as a sport, our South Australian Regularity Series. The first outright co-driver in this series, Mandy Ruddle.
Thank you.
Personally, I think this is a really popular win, to be honest, but that's just my opinion. Means nothing in the scheme of things. Our first outright driver in the SA Regularity Series, Sandy Stu. Very well received. Ed and I were talking just after his awesome presentation, and I said one of the reasons I chose motorsport after leaving about 14 years in motocross at national level, one of the reasons I chose rallying was because of the stories that go along with it. Don't get me wrong, circuit racing has its stories, I get that, I watched the Formula One, but rally, there's always that story about some gearbox change at 3 o'clock in the morning in the drenched rain and leaving cars in the forest for 3 weeks afterwards. That's what happened to me. But certainly watching Sandy, right? Watching you and the fun you've had this year, fantastic. Particularly like the black nitrous sticker on the back of the car. Yes. Awesome, awesome. So now we get up to, guys, the South Australian Rally Championship. And at this point, guys, is Mark here? He's not. Oh, we're actually going to get Mark to give us a few words about his involvement as our naming rights sponsor over the last few years. Obviously, SA Motorsport tyres and MRF tyres have been pretty supportive, supporting the events and obviously financially as a naming rights sponsor. And so, obviously, in Mark's absence, we'd like to thank him for his continued support. We've got opportunities next year, I'm plugging now, for other parts of our championships, guys. So obviously we need to make sure we've got the financial part down, and support from businesses like Mark's business are absolutely essential to maintaining the health of our sport going forward. So a big thank you to Mark and SA Motorsport Tyres, and obviously by Connection MRF. So, we're going to start with the class awards for the Motorsport Australia South Australian Rally Championship. Starting with Class P3. First place in Class P3. Can anyone guess who that might be? A certain Glenn Campbell and Daren Ambrose. Mr. Ambrose. Yeah, if we can get you on your spot, thank you. Just on that point, guys, it was actually Darren who put the orange marks on the floor. Yeah, and you, Ambrose. Fantastic, congratulations, guys, well done. So, moving to Class P4, the Co-Driver Award. Patrick Hughes. We'll be putting that one in the mail for you, Patrick. If you're watching on the video later, good work. Class P4 driver, Ian Weaver.
Congratulations, coming here.
Here he is.
Not bad for a Magna.
Not many a true word spoken. Class P5. Now, I've had recent experience with these two gentlemen. Class P5, first place, Jamie Palmer, Adam Bradford. Or Jabba and Beaker, isn't it, boys?
It says on the website. Again.
Come around.
We're probably going to see Jamie and Adam quite a bit over the next half an hour. We might even get Jamie to show us how he does his dancing. He was backstage with me last week at a festival I played at. Yeah, he's pretty impressive. He's got some moves, that boy. When are you going to teach me some? Yeah, fair enough. Alright, so next up, guys, Class P6 in the South Australian Rally Championship. Declan Dwyer and Zoe Dwyer. I was having a chat with Zoe just earlier, and I suggested next year that maybe once every half a kilometre she could pull a handbrake on Declan's car for me. That might help me out a little bit. Congratulations, guys. First place in the classic component, Simon and Renee Hoff. Don't disappear anywhere, you guys. Okay, so I'm going to ask you for a few words. Good one, just off talking on you.
Perfect for it.
Yeah. Okay, so.
Being put on the spot.
Oh, that's what we like doing.
Just, don't really
Thanks to
actually,
everyone.
but yeah, thank you to everyone that's been involved. Obviously, we wouldn't be able to do this if the event wasn't run, and for sponsors and everyone participating, and for the laugh, and everyone that we've actually met along the way, that we've enjoyed it, all the ups and downs of it.
Yep.
So
Beautiful.
And sorry, I was just going to say to all the actual volunteers that actually come out, that is one big thing, because we really couldn't be doing any of the events and the fun without them. So, yeah.
Congratulations, Simon and Renee. Always like seeing that little green motor flying around the stages. Fantastic. So, first club rally car. Again, this is probably somebody we might be seeing a few times this afternoon. First club rally car is Guy Tyler and Steve Fisher.
You can leave those in.
Yeah, mate.
No, you keep going. Go. Fantastic, thanks Thanks, Guy. Don't go too far away, mate. And that moves us on to our junior driver category. And the first placed junior co-driver, Patrick Hughes. And our first place junior driver, someone who doesn't need much introduction, to be perfectly honest. He's been flying along this year, so had some pretty impressive events and some great results this year. No more introduction, Molly Spalding.
There you go.
And Molly, all part of your apprenticeship. Are you going to give us a few words?
Yeah, I can do. Having competed across other places in Australia this year, it's been brilliant doing the home rounds. Absolutely love them. So yeah, it's great doing these events, having all of the other teams there, knowing all you guys, all of the volunteers, the officials. Yeah, couldn't be a better state to be a part of. Thanks, guys.
Brilliant. Congratulations. And that brings us screaming into a left six. That's what I did there.
Number before the direction.
If it's ways of driving.
All four wheels pointing in the right direction, absolutely. To the outright awards for the Motorsport Australia MRF Tyres South Australian Rally Championship. So, third outright in two-wheel drive. We've seen them already once this afternoon. Let's see them again. Simon and Renee Hopf. That's what we like snuggles on the podium there. Awesome. Awesome. Congratulations, guys. So, second outright two-wheel drive. It's Glenn Campbell and Daren Ambrose.
Switch it up.
No pedals?
No. Cool. Enough of those during the year. Cool.
Well done, guys. Congratulations. First outright two-wheel drive for this year's SARC. It's Guy Tyler and Steve Fisher.
Here's Steve.
Thanks, guys.
Say a few words, Guy.
Why not? Yeah, it's been a big year, and I think we've got to thank all the event organisers. It's really becoming a bit of a tougher thing to put on a rally these days, and thanks to all the officials for putting the events on. Especially, it's been good having a really good year and having three really good events after COVID, and obviously lost one due to floods, and hopefully we have a better year next year. Cheers.
I have to say, and I don't want to embarrass you here, Guy, but when I came back into rallying a couple of years ago, I couldn't have met a more supportive individual that helped me get back in and get back on the horse, literally. So thank you for that. But also, guys, I don't know if you saw any of the footage of Guy from the Adelaide Hills Rally, when he had sort of a car that wanted to change direction. Some of that car control I saw on some of the clips is absolutely breathtaking, mate. Somebody actually said, and take this which way you want, they wondered how he managed to walk in a straight line. Awesome, a great result. In the mighty Magna, hey Ed?
Yeah, tonight, I'm sorry I missed that there were two magnets in the series. I feel a bit underprepared.
Beautiful. And that brings us to the overall outright positions, guys. So third place. I think she just disappeared. Third place outright. It's Guy Tyler, Steve Fisher. Probably should have mentioned that too. Congratulations. I'll have to mention that colour actually matches Steve's eyes. Awesome. Awesome. To second outright. And again, guys, those of you in the room here, you know there's a little bit of a backstory with our next crew. Somebody just started out in our sport at the state's highest level and actually owning it and doing a really good job while they're at it. So, second place in the Motorsport Australia MRF Tyres SARC 2022. Second outright, Declan Dwyer and Zoe Dwyer. Congratulations. Don't run away. Don't run away. I need a few words from both of you guys.
She'd love to speak. Oh yeah. No, look, I just want just to give a huge thanks to all the officials that go out and stand out in the rain. I think every rally this year was just appalling weather, so the guys that stand, the girls that stand out there. The organising crews, the work that goes on behind the scenes, even down to today's event and all that sort of stuff. You know, without you guys, the championship just doesn't hold up. But from my own perspective, thanks so much to Amanda, my wife, and our team. You know, the rally's kind of won and lost in the shed in the weeks leading up to the rally, not just on the stages. I think everybody kind of knows that. But probably a huge thanks, I think, to my brand new rookie co-driver who, you know, just took to it like a duck to water and kept us out of the trees most of the time. So,
Good work.
thank you.
Thank you so much.
So Zoe, you've got 12 months to start working on an acceptance speech for next year, okay? Because if I'm holding the microphone next year, you're not getting away with it. Okay? Beautiful. Which brings us finally, for this segment at least, to our outright winner. Someone who has some mean dance moves. You had to be there. You had to be there. Our state's champions for the second year running. And to be honest, Zane, you gave him a run for his money. Declan gave him a run for his money. Guy, you gave him a run for his money too. And just the four of you watching you over that Saturday and Sunday, particularly at the Adelaide Hills, you're just swapping stage time, swapping the lead. Just it's actually breathtaking to watch. Fantastic. Our state champions for 2022, Jamie Palmer and Adam Bramford.
That trophy's got that Gary Chapman on it.
Is that right?
Yeah.
5 times. Yeah. In fact, it's the first. It's the first. Oh, yeah.
It's a rally driver thing yet. Yeah. Don't go away, boys. You've got one each.
Duet.
Yeah, I won't say too much. I think Adam's got something better prepared than me. But I suppose that crew, the guys that work behind the scenes, they're the ones that help, you know, come away with us, spend their time, running fuel out to us, wheels under the car, cleaning them up. And we've got a great bunch of guys that come away, and without them we couldn't do it. Also all the officials that run the events, you know, they're all volunteers, spending their time out there, and yeah, very little reward for them apart from letting us have fun. So yeah, just want to thank all of them, all the rally panel that, you know, have their meetings and organise everything behind the scenes that you wouldn't even know about. We'd like to thank all those guys as well. But yeah, I'll hand over to Adam.
Right, yeah, thanks to everybody. I did want to say, before I start droning on, it was about 30 years ago, I sat next to Ed at Mount Gambier for a media ride around an old quarry. And to this day, with all the different drivers I've been with, I've never seen someone throw a car at 130 like he's just pulling into the shops. It was just phenomenal. I'm still in awe of that, so yeah. A couple of things I'd like to say. Firstly, it was a tight series this year. It could have gone really any one of 4 ways, I think. We really have to put our heads down to try and keep ahead of Guy in that BFM, because the man is just a freak on those big wide open council stages, and following him and seeing his lines, we just shake our heads in disbelief. So commiserations to Guy. We were actually tied with Guy at the start of the last event for the outright series, so I guess the cards just fell our way. Also, it's been a bit of a tough fight trying to keep ahead of Skippy Admiral. He was also a very, very hard guy to keep in front of, but unfortunately that kangaroo undid him at Barossa, so that was a bit of a bugger to have him out of contention. And the other ones, of course, we've tried to keep in front of all year round, which has been quite an effort, is Dark Horse Dwyer. He's the man who knows how to steer a car very, very quickly, and is hard work to try and keep in front of. Finally, thank you to all the officials, all the organisers. Thanks to landowners that actually let us use their roads and don't kick up a stink about it. That can be quite challenging for officials. Thanks to the rally panel, thanks to Poe for sponsoring the series, and thanks to Jamie for taking me along for a ride. He goes all right. Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2022 SA State Rally Champions. Fantastic. Beautiful. Where do we go from there? It's just pretty amazing, isn't it? Given what we've experienced over the last few years with our sport and the uncertainty, to see our events this year take just speechless. There you go. So we get to finally the SA Rally Panel Awards, South Australia Rally Panel Awards. First up, the McLeod Medal, which is for the best first year co-driver. The winner this year for 2022, Zoe Dwyer.
Probably, same as what everyone else has really been saying. Thanks to all the officials and Mum and Dad and everyone, all the people we've had in the shed, and especially all the other co-drivers for helping me when I can't do maths.
I think it was at Copy World. We were parked up just behind Declan and Zoe, and it was one of those situations, Matt, you'll probably remember this, one of those situations where perhaps, we can't physically get the car to the time control in time to pick up a time. And so, of course, poor co-driver, it's never the driver, always the co-driver has to unstrap and run up to the time control to get the particular minute you need for your time card. And obviously this was the case, and so Declan sort of mentioned to Zoe, you need to run, and sort of, anyway, run, Zoe! And she did, through the darkness. Excellent, it's great to have you on board, Zoe. You're doing a great job, man. Next up, guys, the Lincoln Harding Memorial Award for the Most Improved Driver. Now, this award is based on DPI, right? DPI, yeah, I always get that one wrong. So this is based on your DPI, the Most Improved Driver during this season. In 2022, guys, this has gone to Michael Moore. There's a special addition to this award, guys. Obviously, is the trophy. The perpetual trophy doesn't necessarily stay with you forever, but certainly a much smaller replica does. And just to sweeten the deal, there's a little envelope there with 100 Australian dollars inside it. Australian. That's how you're pronouncing that properly. Now it's not Welsh anymore. There you go. Australian. There you go. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, words.
I just thank you to Casey for keeping me on the right track all the time and paying for the car. And thank you to all the volunteers and officials that come out and stand in the rain and Without them, we couldn't do it. Thanks.
Truly, you meet some of the most awesome people in motorsport, truly. So, at this stage, I'm going to invite Andrew Admiral up to the dais. In case you don't know, Andrew is the chairman of the South Australian Rally Panel from Motorsport Australia. And you're going to give us a few words, right?
No.
Are you not dancing today?
Not dancing.
I've got video of that. I do have video of that. Yeah, I'll tell you about it later.
Right, I'm up here. I don't want to do speeches and stuff like that because everyone has done a far, far better job than I ever could. So right now, I'm up here to present the event of the year, and because Herring would have to give it to himself, that's what I'm here for. So, the event of the year is the MSS Barossa Rally.
Just on behalf of Ivor and the organising team, I had the privilege to go to one of the very early meetings where we were talking about logistics, apart from, instead of the route. Obviously, I'm still a competitor, so it wouldn't be advisable to see the route on Secret Rally beforehand. But the way that those guys put that event together, Rally Barossa started as an idea almost 3 years ago, and not long after the Gorge Rally Sprint that we sponsored in the September of 19. And I said to Ivor, wouldn't mind having one in our backyard. What's the go with that? How would we go about getting a rally in our backyard, and how would we go about getting it to be part of the SARC? Well, we had kind of a missed connection with COVID during 2021, and obviously the event was able to run this year. As any event, we had a few little minor problems. I think at about 1 PM on the Saturday, Ivor turned to me and said, "So how do you feel about packing up and going home?" The weather was rather inclement on that Saturday. I was kind of walking straight into the breeze. It was pretty full on. But awesome event. Very much a privilege for us to receive this on behalf of Rally 1 and Ivor's support team. Looking forward to 2023. Thanks.
So, further to that, I do want to thank all the other events that stood up in 2022 and put forward their best efforts to make the South Australian Rally Championship a success, which I think it has been. The other thing I do want to do is I want to thank everybody involved in rallying the discipline. I want to thank the team at the rally panel. I feel very, very blessed and honoured to be part of that group at the moment. I don't think anyone really understands this, but even though I might be the chair of the panel, I'm just a conduit of the group. The group decides, the group directs, the group makes all the changes that are required for the rally discipline. And the group is the one that is actually growing this product at the moment. So hats off to the rally panel group, and I thank you all for everything you've done. I also want to thank all the officials that have worked their asses off this year. Also want to thank the competitors who have also worked their asses off, which takes me to the new point. I'm about to hand out the Rally Official of the Year. The Rally Official of the Year is to a person that has made a difference to rallying in the calendar year. That's something that they did, or just through them being a part of it, has actually, if they weren't a part of it, the championship wouldn't have been as good. It's as simple as that. It's not about hours, it's not about how many events you helped at or what you worked at. It's actually making a change to the event, or the championship as a whole. So this year we do have two, I'm not going to use the other, I'm going to use two really important mentions of Rally Official of the Year, and that's going to be Tamara Bryce and Peter Hughes. And I thank those two people because, again, they stepped up and helped the championship as a whole. They were everywhere, and especially to Tamara. She's also worked very, very closely in doing the other disciplines within the auto test discipline, which is the car cross product, where she's really bringing it to Walkerville's All Car Club and creating a lovely little product there. But the Rally Official of the Year, we're giving to a person that's also a competitor, so it could sort of smell a little bit. But this person, we strongly feel, has been important to rallying this year. This person has stepped up and helped at every level at events. They've also competed at all the events. They've been the official coordinator for an event. They've helped the rally panel tidy up some of its issues and concerns and problems. And I'd like to welcome Daren Ambrose and congratulate you.
Cheers. Stunned.
You never not talking.
I was going to say those that know me won't believe I'm lost for words. Yeah, thanks to the rest of the panel. I think thanks to all the other officials that do such a great job. I didn't stand in the rain, I tell you, I wouldn't be lining up for that job. But hundreds of people do. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't get any fun at all. So it's a shame they can't all get one of these. Cheers.
Well done, mate. Good work. And as Andrew said, obviously we had 4 events in our calendar this year. With what was the AGL Rally SA, unable to run due to the weather, the Copy World, Rally Barossa, and of course Adelaide Hills. The 3 events that ran there. Pretty amazing. We are looking to next year's calendar already, and we're expecting to have our 2023 rally launch in March. At a time and date to be confirmed. It looks like there's going to be an extra rally next year, a multi-club rally up in Broken Hill. There's been some work going on that. For now, 4 rounds in the SARC. The website will have some updates shortly about the actual dates that these events will run. We will be taking part in the now renamed Shannon's Rally of the Heartland, Copy World Walking 100, MSS Safety Rally Barossa, and the Yumi Adelaide Hills Rally. Our 2023 season will include a Clubman Series, Regularity Series, Autocross, and the Autocross Championship, which is this year being hosted by Southern Districts. All of this stuff, guys, some of you obviously have seen our Facebook and Instagram sort of posts going around. If you're not on those social media platforms, there's no reason for you to miss out on any important information about what goes on and what will be going on, and how you can get involved. For the latest, I'm sounding like a TV advert now, for the latest in information about rallying and associated disciplines in South Australia, you just need to head to sarally.net.au. What you'll find there, if you subscribe particularly, if you subscribe for email updates, you'll find all the information you need about results, changes to dates, changes to any regulations. There's a click button to register for next year's championship. Will be going up as soon as that's finalised. Anything you need, guys, is on that website. Okay, so if you're not on social media, by all means, if you are on social media, click along to the website. That's the source of the information that we put out through Facebook and Instagram. So, but please join in with that. We do have, actually, just back up one, I think, before we get to that. I mentioned MRF Tyres and Mark Povey earlier today. Obviously, we have a number of supporters for our operations in SA Rally. ASP, I'm going to give those guys a mention. They provide us with all our IT support and email and web hosting and similar. MSS Safety, my business, we've been trying to get involved at grassroots levels to try and support our sport and move it forward in the direction we need to go. And also this year we've been having a kind of a retro sponsorship with a chosen charity, which was this year, was 1,300 koalas, who offer rescue, respite and rehabilitation for koalas that have been injured or have found themselves orphaned particularly. Obviously the koalas are a very endangered species, so they've been doing some fine work in SA, and we've raised about 1,800 bucks from them this year, so I'm pretty happy with that. It's beautiful. So thank you to our supporters. Again, guys, my role within panel is promotions. We've got some exciting new things that's going to come out in about 4 or 5 weeks' time, where those of you who feel like it might be able to get involved and to be able to offer some support to our various series. Might be financial or other support we're looking for, but certainly we're going to have a prospectus out shortly which will detail how you can get involved and move our sport to an even higher level through 23 and 24. One of those things is what we're going to talk about next, our prize draw. So generously provided by Walkie All Cars Club, Walkable All Cars Club, we've got one free entry to the 2023 Copy World Walkie 100. Its current value is $895. The idea was today, guys, that there'd be one ticket in the draw for each driver and each co-driver who competed in the SARC 22, and they're actually in the room today. I thought that was quite sneaky. I like that. Okay, that's quite Machiavellian. I like it. Okay, so we're going to ask our guest speaker today, Ed, to make the draw. If you could do that, please, Ed.
We'll keep drawing until we find someone in the room. So we could be here a while, hopefully.
Let me just zoom in. Hang on.
Yeah.
So what's the name on there, Ed?
I need my glasses to
Wasn't the blank one?
Is it doing well?
It's big. Glenn Campbell.
Glenn Campbell.
Glenn.
Is he still here?
Yeah, he's still there. Up you go.
Is he coming to receive his reward?
Uniform, thank you.
Seems a bit silly because technically it means I don't have to pay for an entry to an event next year.
There you go.
Oh, I'm gonna get
We'll put your name on it in a minute.
Awesome. Thank you once again to Walkable All Cars Club. We had quite the list of names there, Darren, right?
They're all in there. They're not all Glenn Campbell, I promise.
Look, you've just got to say Glenn there, but I'm sure it should start with a D. Okay, there you go. Beautiful. Okay then, so, guys, that pretty much wraps it up for 2022. Obviously, there's the Adelaide Rally next week, if any of you guys are involved with that, whether you're officially in or if you take part. But certainly, in the run-up to the end of the year, there's the Wollonga Hill Climb coming up too, I believe, Andrew, is that right? Entries are now open.
50% full.
Even better, fantastic. I had a chance to play part in that event last year, briefly. It was a clutch. It was a clutch issue. Welding itself, it wasn't pretty. There you go. So yeah, that's an awesome event. Definitely took part in that one last year. So yeah.
Almost done.
I'm not done yet.
No, I was just winding him up.
You know, you were saying before about Darren being lost for words.
Neither.
So, to thank everybody who's played a part today, guys. Certainly, number one on our list, Ed. Thank you so much for your time today. Ed and I got to share a bit of quality time a few weeks ago at my studio, while we were doing some preparations for Ed's presentation today. And I must admit, whilst I'd heard some of your presentation, my cheeks still now. Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us today. Really, really enjoyed your presentation.
Thanks for being a great audience, Tim. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you.
As Andrew mentioned earlier, obviously, you know, our sport wouldn't exist without a number of components, not least of which are the organisations, the clubs that put on our events every year. You know, for South Australia, if you think of our population, we kind of punch above our weight when it comes to the quality of the Australian motorsport that we put on. Certainly, you know, my own experience getting back into the sport recently, that's definitely been the case. So I want to thank all our organisers for each of the events that they put on. And obviously you guys, the competitors, for actually entering. There'd be no event without any entrants. Always, we mention our officials, guys. Some of you in the room have been officials. I've been an official at some point. It takes a very special sort of person to sort of give up their time and go and take care of other people driving around in their fast cars. It really does. And having been on both sides of the table, as an official, as a marshal waving a flag up, we used to blow whistles in the UK when the cars was coming along. We used to blow a whistle, that was our job, to let people know the cars were arriving. You know, out there at 3 o'clock in the morning, freezing cold, 6 jackets on. Don't ever underestimate our officials, guys. They're an awesome group of people, really are. And without them, it sounds really cliched, but it's true. Without them, we would not have motorsport or rally sport, at least in South Australia. So thank you to you guys. the National Motor Museum for hosting us today. They've made some beautiful surroundings available to us. Darren, you worked pretty hard on pulling this one together with some of the other panel members, and so thank you for your efforts in that area too. The Walkerville Cars Club, obviously, for the beautiful prize we had for the prize draw. The Birdwood Lutheran Church catering. Today, guys, the catering was provided locally, and they are on a bit of a mission at the moment, on a fundraising mission, okay? And part of that was helping us out today. All of their funds are going into,
School chaplain.
that's right, school chaplain.
Chaplain.
There you go. So they're providing school chaplains, okay? So if you still see some of the crew milling around outside, pretty sure if you've got any gold coins flicking around, I'm sure they'd be quite happy to take them off you and put it towards their project. I'd like to thank Twin Cam Media. Is Mark here? I'm pretty sure I saw him earlier. Still here? Oh, there he is, right in the middle. Couldn't see you there. Thanks, Mark. All the images you saw in the presentation today, guys, were provided by Mark's organisation, and yeah, would not have been the same without your input there, Mark. So thank you so much. Cameron, down front here with the camera. I love how that's Cam and Cam. Cam. Yeah, beautiful. So Cameron's been doing the happy snaps today, guys, which you'll probably see on social media and on the website in the next few days. And finally, of course, to our SA Rally panel. As a few of the contributors today mentioned, there's so much work that goes on behind the scenes. It's not all champagne and Mars bars, it really isn't. There's a whole heap of stuff that we have to figure out. Did we sign on at this point? Did we get points for that? It can be very time consuming, but ultimately without it, again, we wouldn't have a sport. So for those of you who have been involved in that, thank you very much. Beautiful. Well, that wraps it up from me for another year. Thank you for joining us today. Really appreciated you all being here and paying attention so attentively. So, is it too early to say Merry Christmas? Stuff it. Have a great Christmas, guys. Have a great new year. And let's see you all in early March and April next year back out on the stages. Thank you very much.